back to my channel. It is the beginning of the year. We're in January 2023 now, and I'm super excited because I have in front of me tons and tons of seeds for the garden that I will be starting and growing this season for spring 2023. Now I am going to do an entire another video on my seed haul for the food forest. All right, so I have tons of other seed packets that I've been hoarding so that I can actually plant them in the food forest, and they're more perennials and flowers and medicinal herbs and things like that. Still some actual food items, food seeds, but for this video, we're just talking specific to this garden. I went ahead and set myself up. I have my kale here that overwintered, tons of mizuna that it didn't look too hot during the winter, right when it was actually cold. It did die back quite a bit, but as you can see, it's doing pretty well. That's actually that's mizuna as well. That is going to seed, and I have seen tons of bees on it, as well as my broccoli on the other side of the yard. So all of these things I just left in place, and right here behind me was my carrots, which me and the kids ended up picking I think last month, and we got tons and tons of carrots from just this tiny little space and that little block over there that you guys can't see, it's not in the frame. So let me share with you everything that I am growing for the season, and I'm also going to be telling you at the end of this video what the giveaway is comprised of. Alright, so I will be opening the giveaway for a week as of the posting time and date of this video, and then 1 week, the date here in front of you, date and time, I will put it up on the screen. That will be the closing day time of the giveaway. All right, the giveaway will include, I think it's 6 or 7, I want to say 7 seed packets, which I have written down here on my phone, some of which I'm going to be growing, and some of which are part of my personal collection from seasons past, or were gifted to me, or something that I think would be really interesting to share with you guys, that I may not be growing this season, or even if I'm growing in the food forest, some of them I include in there as well. So let me start off with the more boring items. My salad greens. I don't grow too many salad greens. I'm in Central Florida, Zone 9B. It is pretty hot here, so in spring season you can't really plant too many salad greens. I'm hoping the mizuna stays around for a bit, but considering that it's already bolting, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to be growing Swiss chard. This is Burpee Swiss chard, just a little packet of seeds that I actually saved. It's not really any information on here besides Swiss chard from Burpee. So this is like Vulcan Swiss chard, I think it is, or maybe Rainbow Swiss chard. I didn't label it, but I'll be growing that. That is pretty heat resistant, and then as well as arugula, right? So this is Rocket arugula that does really well here. This is from Baker Creek, or sorry, Wild Rocket arugula from Baker Creek. I have grown this several years in a row now, and I absolutely love it. It does really well, and then if it bolts, you can still collect seeds from it. So those are my salad greens. I already have kale growing that I managed to overwinter. I think there's maybe like 5 kale plants, so I'm not planning on planting any more, simply because I did not buy the seeds for them. I thought I had seeds for kale, and I did not find them in my seed stash. So if I, end up going to the garden center, maybe I'll pick up another pack of kale seeds. If not, then that's what's going to be in the garden. Next up, something that I usually always grow is my Blue Lake bush beans. These are from Baker Creek. You can see Blue Lake bush beans right there, 274. These are just a really good overall variety that I've grown for several years in a row now. As you can see, I have multiple packs of the exact same thing, and I just really like these beans. Okay, so these ones, they grow really fast. They're often one of the very first things that I get to harvest in the garden. They grow really prolifically. Last season, I chopped and dropped everything from the previous season. I left it in place. I didn't dig up anything, and I just top dressed with compost. I planted these directly into the compost with the stuff from the previous season underneath that I ripped up and just left there. And these did extraordinarily well. I have tons and tons of frozen green beans in the freezer. We're going to be eating green beans forevermore, so definitely I always recommend these, but I will continue to recommend these. I'm also going to be growing my French yellow beans, so I can never exactly pronounce this correctly, but there it is. I think it's like Beurre de Rocancourt or something like that. And so these grow really well. They're a good yellow bean, wax bean. They're pretty similar to to my blue lake bush beans, except they're yellow. I don't really notice a big taste difference in these, so oftentimes when I freeze them, I tend to mix them together, and I just had a little extra via this packet that was left over from last season, so I'll plant these out along with my bush beans, and that will be my beans for the season. Now, I'm also going to plant out some orange French marigolds. I don't know if you can see my handwriting there. These are actually from the food forest. I planted out some French orange marigolds when I started, I think, the first guild, and then shortly after that is winter, so they went to seed, and I managed to save the seeds, and now we have thousands of marigold seeds. So I will be incorporating these near my tomatoes and near my other things in the garden for pollinators, and just honestly because I love the way marigolds look. Next up is something that I don't often plant in this garden, at least since I've been here, because it's going to take up a lot of space, and it is early prolific straight neck squash. So this is a yellow squash variety. There's not really a picture of it, but it's just a yellow squash, pretty generic. But this season will be the first season I'm trying to grow it vertically. So I don't have tons of space, and I want it to get a little bit more sun. I think if I grow it vertically, it'll give a little bit more leeway for it to kind of move and go towards the sun as it needs. And then maybe plant some things that can grow underneath it, like arugula that does pretty well in the shade also. So I can try to grow this vertically. I have some stakes, and maybe I'll plant it like here at the edge of this bed where it gets a little bit more sun. Of course, we have tomatoes, because I love growing tomatoes. That is my favorite thing ever to grow. And I am going to be growing, of course, my Roma tomatoes. These are just an overall great variety of tomato from Baker Creek. They're Martino's Roma tomato. I actually grew this, well, I always grow this. This is one of the things that never leaves the garden. But I had a whole bunch of plants growing on the other side of the garden. And then when the frost came, it wiped out all of the plants. So there were 6 of them. It wiped out all of the tomato plants besides one, and the one that survived was one of my Roma tomato plants, and so now it has flowers on it, and it overwintered itself. It never died, it never wilted. I thought that was very strange, so I left that in place, and I will leave that in place and plant out my Roma tomatoes in that same space. Another thing that I'm going to be growing is the pink bumblebee tomato, also from Baker Creek. This is what it looks like. I really enjoyed the flavor of these. I enjoyed the way it grew. I like the way they look. So I'm going to be regrowing these this season. They're just a really good cherry tomato that, after going through tons and tons of different types of cherry tomatoes, this is one of my favorites so far. So I'll be growing this. And then one of my favorite things about Baker Creek, not that I get all my seeds from there, but I do get a whole bunch of them from there. One of my favorite things is that they include a free seed in all of their orders. So this is one of the orders that I got, and it had a free seed, and they are spoon tomatoes, right? You can see in the red there it says free seeds with your order. So these are a spoon tomato. Oh, let me show you how it looks. And basically they're tiny little tomatoes, and they all fit in like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. So I might plant 1 or 2 of these, I think, if I don't have space, and this is probably going to be what gets left behind. But if not, I'm planning on planting these out as well. And of course, I have my parsley. I always grow parsley. I currently have tons of parsley in the garden already. However, I think I'm actually going to take a little bit more space to plant out some parsley, maybe in a pot or something, because when I plant out parsley, I find that I get a lot of butterflies, right? So like swallowtail butterflies. I've seen some monarch caterpillars. I don't think that parsley is the host plant for it. I could be wrong, but I always get lots of butterflies and caterpillars, so I'll plant out more parsley. And then Genovese basil, just a standard. This one, of course, is from Baker Creek as well, but pretty much just an overall good for pesto variety of basil. Now, one of the things I'm really excited about this season is because I am going to be growing in my worm castings. So in the last video, I mentioned that I'm not going to continue raising worms in 2023, but I have my worm castings from 2022. I have several bags of this, and I will be using this in the seed starting soil as a fertilizer to see if maybe that gives the seeds like an extra boost before I put them in the garden. So that's something I'll be trying out this season, which I'm really excited for. All right, so now on to our seed giveaway. All right, if you win the giveaway, you'll be getting 8 seed packets. All right, these are things that I've grown in my garden before, things that I really like to grow, things that are very interesting to grow, something that I'm growing this season. It's just a mix of different things that, I want to share with you guys. There will be one winner to the giveaway. The giveaway starts on the date and time in front of you here on the screen, the time that this video is published. So if you're seeing this video, the giveaway is live. You can go ahead and enter. The rules for the giveaway are as follows. You must be subscribed to this channel, of course. You must comment below this video which variety that I'm about to share with you guys, which variety you are most excited to grow if you were to win the giveaway. All right, so for example, if one of the things is Roma tomatoes, which it's not, but if one of the things was Roma tomatoes, you would enter the giveaway by commenting below and subscribing to the channel, and you would comment, I'm excited to grow Roma tomatoes, all right? Something to that effect. It doesn't have to be exact, but that is the way you would enter the giveaway, and you have to be subscribed to my Instagram channel. So my Instagram handle, I will leave it here. It is at mini.urban.farm over on Instagram, all right? You have to be subscribed to that channel over on Instagram, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, and you have to comment below stating which variety you are most excited to grow. All right, so our free seeds for the giveaway: cayenne peppers, dwarf moringa, French orange marigolds, terracotta tomatoes. So those are actually a slicer variety of tomatoes. They were gifted to me. I have never grown them, but they look very pretty, and I will be growing them once I get to the garden in the new home. I don't have enough space to grow all of the tomatoes that I want to grow, but this one is on my list. They're called Thorburns terracotta tomatoes. French breakfast radishes, which I have grown and I love. Lemon cucumbers from my seeds that I grew last season. Orange okra, also from my own seeds. And Vulcan Swiss chard, which is a really pretty variety of Swiss chard. It has like pink stalks, and I absolutely love it. It is one of the varieties that I grow. So all of these are things from my garden or things that I've grown in the past that I want to share with you guys. The giveaway is open for 1 week, so it will be closing this day and time right here. Follow the rules to enter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enter the giveaway, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.